today with a large, it's actually kind of two book outlet hauls put together. So if you are unfamiliar with Book Outlet is it's a company online, and they get books that are like overstock or maybe even slightly damaged from larger places like Target and Walmart and beyond, and they sell them at a discounted price. It's a really great place to pick up cheap books or cheaper books if you're trying to build your home library or if you're a homeschooler like we are. So piece of advice, I went to make an order. They recently had a sale of buy two, get a third free, and their prices are already steeply discounted, so I wanted to stock up on some things. They have a program, and my link will be down below. When you sign up, the person that you sign up who shares Book Outlet with you, you can get a $10 off coupon. I also, if you sign up under my link, get a $10 off coupon. As well as you order books, you accumulate points, and you can use those points to cash in for coupons. Well, I cashed out for two separate coupon codes. You can only use one when you check out. You can't stack them. I did not know that. So just a heads up. But because I did that and I had a ton of stuff, I just very quickly, because I literally had about 4 minutes to order before the sale was ending, went in and separated my order into two orders. So I did the best I could with the buy two, get one free, trying to figure that out, and just had everything shipped to me. So this is two orders. It was all going to be one. I put it in two because of the way that went. So that being said, there's a bunch of stuff here I want to share with you guys. So grab your cup of tea or coffee or even just your water bottle and settle in for a few minutes, because there's a lot here to show you. So I'm going to start with the non-chapter books first. I do usually buy quite a few chapter books. Sorry guys, this is bothering me. There you go. I do buy quite a few chapter books, and I did buy quite a few this time, but I actually bought some things that were not. And so I just am going to go quickly through those. The first one I bought is this Easy Peasy English. And most of these I've seen on other people's book outlet hauls, but I can't tell you, unfortunately, which homeschool mama. I follow a bunch and just watched a bunch of hauls before I was placing my order. So credit is not to mine for finding these, but I can't find credit who to give to. And inside, it just has a bunch of the like different rules and things. This says positions please, and it's talking about prepositions. And this says me, myself, and I, and just has pages. So it's kind of just a fun kids reference book. I think that my older girls will really enjoy just kind of flipping through this, and then it'll be there if we're struggling with my younger students with something that I can reference that. I think that was around $5 that I paid on the book outlet. And then I got these. They are Usborne Fractions and Decimals activity books. So they do carry some Usborne, but again, it's just whatever overstock or however they run it. It's not everything that Usborne carries. It's like maybe 10 books. And so one of the things they had right now were the Fractions and Decimals activity book. And it's fairly simple. It's not complex fractions. Like my older daughter was doing way more than this. Obviously, she's coming out of 6th grade and into 7th grade. So her fractions and decimals were way more complicated. But I thought this would be just a nice, easy kind of thing to do as we finish up the summer here, that they can take in the car and work on. On a day when they don't feel like doing some of their other things. These are just really simple, but it really does hone in on those fractions and decimals. And then I got 2 of them so that my younger daughter, who is in 4th, going into 5th grade, my rising 5th grader this year, will also have one. And that was more or less what she did work on kind of this year in her Horizons book. So I got both of those. Again, I think those were around $5, which if you are familiar with Usborne books, the activity books I think run between like $10 and $13 usually. Now these were the most... Okay, so these next books were all 3 in like the $10 range. I do believe I got one of them for a discount price with the buy 2 get 1 free, but on the book outlet, they were originally in the $10 range. So this book, the manufacturer's price was $20 though, so you can tell it's already steeply discounted. And then to get one of them free of the three, and it is Wild City, and it is just absolutely beautifully illustrated. I think nope, I can't remember which mom I found this on. I think it was the converted homeschooler. She's new to homeschooling. She has a great channel. I just recently found her. So I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name, but I do know that her whole channel is based on not originally thinking she would want to homeschool, and she started homeschooling because of all the things that happened last year, and she fell in love with it. And she has a really awesome channel where she shares a lot of book hauls, and I know that she did share this book in particular. And so I did go ahead and pick it up because of her, and it just inside shows different animals in our different cities. So this is in Rio de Janeiro. And here's New York. And the front just says, meet animals who share our city spaces. So we kind of live in the country, and so we're used to seeing wildlife everywhere. We have wildlife. As I'm looking out my window, we were eating breakfast this morning. My kids were talking about the deer out back. So that's something that's very typical for us, but we don't think about the wildlife that always lives in the city, and they are there. So I thought this would be a really neat book for us to read through. So we picked that up. Then we picked up Sound of Nature, World of Birds. Press each note to hear the birds' songs. And so again, this book is like a $23 book, and it was around the $9-10 range. You can see even it has a store sticker, so sometimes they'll have those from wherever they were originally from, and it shows it was $14 in store, and it was around $9 on book outlets. So still a continued discount, and then they always have a deal going on. So this says like birds of the prairie, there's birds of the mountain, and as you speak about each bird, let me see if I can find on this side, you can read the excerpt about the bird, and then you can push this little button and it'll share the music, the song of that bird. And there's just a speaker you can see right here on the back. So there was that one. And then going along with the same theme, there's Sounds of Nature, World of Forests. And so again, same little speaker on the back. There is a little pull tab here. I did not find it right away, and I thought the book was broken, but it was not. I just didn't see the tab right away to pull it out. So this says, press each note to hear the animal sounds. And so here it's showing animals in the desert. And animals in the beach forest of Brussels, Belgium. So you can just see all these different things. And again, you can read the excerpt and you can push the button. So that just gives you an idea of what it is. And then our last non-chapter book is this large book. It was around $4, and it was on D-Day. So my son is becoming a big fan of D-Day. My daughter is a huge war fan, huge history buff. That is her niche. She really enjoys it. So I thought this would be a good purchase. Like I said, my son, who is not... he's a struggling reader. I thought this might get him more interested. We've been working through D-Day in What Was D-Day? So that series, they have the book What Was D-Day, and he can't quite read it yet, but if he practices his reading lessons, then I'll read to him, and so this will be more stuff that we can kind of go through together. And it's really kind of set up in this like infographic type manner. Talks about different people, different events that happened. There were the 3 different breaches on D-Day. Ooh, smacking myself in the face. It's such a big book. So, but it is a large book. I think it's going to get a lot of use in our home. So those were the non-chapter books. I'm just going to clear them out of the way here. My kids have been so excited and patiently waiting. We got these last week, and we were preparing for our church's VBS, so we were doing like 12, 13-hour days there, and I didn't have time to film anything. And so they've been very patiently waiting to dig into these books. A few of them are going to be used for school next year, but most of them are just for them to dig into. So now onto the chapter books. Did you guys know? Because I didn't. Maybe I'm just oblivious, but I know the mom who shared this on her YouTube channel. Again, I apologize, can't remember which one. She didn't know either, so at least I don't feel like I'm completely out of it. But the Little Women have more than one book. I've read Little Women. I never knew there was more in the series, and there are. There are Good Wives, Little Men, and Joe's Boys. So these are all three. They do have the first one, but we already have the first one in like the illustrated Usborne set, and it's really done well. So I just picked up these three. I don't know. I might go back and buy the other one just so I have the full set of these all together, but for now, that's what I did. And they were each like $3-ish a piece. But I was just so thrilled to find this. My daughter read Little Women last year in 6th grade, and the unabridged one by Usborne. And so I thought that these would be good as she's going into her junior high years to go ahead and complete the series. So I purchased those. This one was a random, somebody posted it, and I just thought it would be something different. You're going to notice that there are a lot of either classic literature or history style, historical fiction, those types of things, history style books. This doesn't really fall into either of those categories. Somebody, one of the moms shared this, and I thought it just might be a neat pickup. This is the only one they had left. When the mom had purchased them and shared them, they had Lost in London, Lost in Paris, and Lost in Rome. Lost in Paris was the only one left, and my girls are just really getting into Paris lately. I don't know why. They've never been to Paris. They don't do much research on Paris, but I think they just like the colors in the Eiffel Tower and everything, so they asked to have like a Paris themed type room, and they painted their room as pink, and they put Eiffel Towers up, and so I just thought this might be a cute little book. It's just about a girl who goes to Paris, and she's trying to go to a concert, and she needs to try and get tickets that are very difficult to get. So just a different style book that my kids don't usually read. We'll see if they enjoy it or not. It was only a couple dollars, so I figured I would pick that one up. Now I have a whole stack here of Who Was style books. So, and they were all like $3.15 or under. And then of course you get to buy 2 get 1 free. So I just went through and looked up like who was, what was, where was, and scanned through and picked some of them. You could flip through pages for hours and they'll be intermixed in other books. So these are the ones I picked up. Like I said, there's a lot more on their site, but we got Who Were the Tuskegee Airmen? What Was the Titanic? Which my 6th grader already stole this and read it and brought it back. But again, you can see $6. There's the Walmart, and on the bottom too, a lot of times they'll have, I don't know if you can see that, they'll have like a little dot of some kind, so really no real damage. I guess maybe if you're gifting you might not want the dot, but my kids wouldn't care either way, whether it was a gift to them or just me giving it to them. So Who Was Frederick Douglass? Who Was Mr. Rogers? What are the Paralympic Games? So I'll be 100% honest. I don't know. I mean, I know what they are, but I don't know a ton about them. And so I thought this would be really cool, especially with all the talk about the Olympics going on and the Olympics getting canceled last year. And my kids just not, they're just getting to the age where they're really starting to pay attention to it. They've seen some of the things on, some of the events before, gymnastics or swimming. We've watched some of it, but we never really got into anything about it in particular. They're just getting a little bit older and understanding it. And so I thought this would be a cool book. I think we're going to do this as a read aloud this upcoming year. Who Was Lewis Carroll? Like I said, we're big into wars here. What was the bombing of Hiroshima? I didn't even know this book existed, so it's kind of neat when you go through and just look up like, or I said who was, what was. If you just look up like what was or who was, just to see the things they even offer, because there are a ton that I don't even know exist. what were the Negro Leagues. My husband's very into baseball, and so I thought this might be a neat read aloud for him and my son in the evenings at bedtime. And my daughter literally lunged at me and stole this as soon as I opened it, and it is Who Was Abigail Adams. So she was so excited to get that book. And she may be using that in her history this year. So we got all of those, and then we still have one small stack left, y'all. But I'm going to grab a drink of water because it is difficult to talk this much without getting parched. So there are these Childhood of Famous Americans, and this one is Elizabeth Blackwell, Girl Doctor, but there are a ton, and if you look, I don't know if that'll come clear. They have a bunch of them. Now, I don't know if they were all on Book Outlet. I didn't look. I do know that they had some of them. I specifically was purchasing this one because we don't have anything on her yet, and I thought it would be a nice pickup. We picked this up. It's Sweet Home Alaska, and it's about a family who lived in Wisconsin during the Great Depression, and they were having a difficult time, and they were moving to Alaska and starting over. And so I thought this would be a really good book for my older girls. Sticking with, we love history, that as well, but war history especially. This is Snow Treasure. I think I found this one on a Pinterest list, and it is about the Nazi troops that parachuted into the, what is it, Norwegian village, and about how the kids have to help put gold in their sleds to get past the Nazi soldiers, and they're risking, their country's treasure, but also their lives. And so I thought this would be a really good book. Oh, this one is not a chapter book, but it was stuck in the stack. And it is the Usborne's D-Day. So it's just a short little book, but it's packed full, and it's like those short chapters. So I'm hoping that sooner than later my son will be able to read some of these short chapter style books. So I picked that up for him. And then we got Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. It's just one of the things, classic literature we did not have on our shelves. And so when I found this, I thought it would be a good time to purchase it. I do believe it was about $4. But then again, like I said, with all of the buy one or buy two, get one free. The War That Saved My Life, and then the war I finally won. You can see like there is a sticker on that one. So these books, the master price is originally around $8.99. I did actually purchase these through the Target. They had buy two get one free as well, and I had purchased it through them. And then when I found them on Book Outlet, I put them in my cart, and I'm returning the other ones, and I purchased these ones because they were only $4 a piece at buy two get one free. So I did buy these, again, about a family during World War II. The little girl in the story here is 10, and she has a club foot, and her brother gets sent off to war, and she sneaks off. So it's a good story. And then this is the continuation as she turns 11, what happens. So I figured this would be another good short little, for my daughter series, just the two books. But again, there you go. We got the dot on this one and a line on that one. So you can, like I said, there can be those types of things. They're not major damage, but if that concerns you, to me, it doesn't concern me for the price. I'd rather have the mark. And then this is a book on Corrie ten Boom, The Hiding Place. If you're not familiar with Corrie ten Boom, she was a missionary who helped during World War II. And so we have that book. I know my daughter's going to really, really enjoy this. I guess maybe not a missionary is what she would call her, but she was a Christian sister who helped during World War II. And so very excited. I don't know if we're going to do this as a read aloud, if I'm just going to read this and maybe have my rising 7th grader read this, or maybe put it on the shelf and just read it myself and let her read it in a year or two. I might decide that after I read it, but I'm very excited to read this. I did buy it with the intention of my oldest reading it in the near future, though, as she's entering junior high. So, and again, that was like in the $4 range. So you can see I got a lot of books this time. I will drop a link down below. Like I said, if you're not familiar with Book Outlet, they have amazing prices. They always have a deal. I know right now their current deal is an extra 15% off their prices, but I do believe that ends tomorrow at like 10 a.m. and I'm not sure if I'll get this uploaded by then. So if I do not, I will, you can always check that link and check whatever the current deal is, because the deals are always there. They have amazing prices and they're definitely worth it. So if you guys like these kinds of haul videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you are new, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.